When normal people think of a summer vacation, they think of Hawaii, a cruise, Disneyland, or going off the country. What my family does is we visit the Keystone State, Pennsylvania. For the summer, we always head out to Pennsylvania to welfare in Norfolk Southern, usually in the Altoona area, but this year is Macungie, Pennsylvania, on Norfolk Southern Red Line. It is Sunday, July 20th, 2025, and our first train on Macungie is NS Train 16T. The NS-16T is a daily manifest train from Irvindale, Alabama to Allentown, Pennsylvania. We are only a couple miles west of Allentown. The train slows down and comes to a stop as there is train traffic in Allentown, so it was a pretty dead time after 16T came to a stop. The mid-train DPU is a pleasure to me. You couldn't ask for a better DPU placement. After the freight is a long line of stinky trash containers. These are coming from the south. NS 1808 is a rebuild ST70 ACC. There was only 51 built on the Norfolk Southern, and some of the ACCs are stored, so it's not every day you could get to see one on the train. It wasn't leading, but we'll take it. Better than seeing 1% junk. Flying by westbound is NS Train 269. It originates out of Port Newark and is bound for Chicago, Illinois. It is carrying shipping containers from the port. Track speed through here is 60 miles per hour, and the train is doing every bit of that. You will see more of this fast action later in the video. "16T gets on the move after being stopped for several hours. 11K is next, heading westbound. It just finished work in Allentown Yard, so now 16T can head into Allentown to finish its journey. "11K is a daily manifest operating between Croxton, New Jersey to Elkhart, Indiana. This is a big train that goes a long distance, working several yards on its journey, thanks to precision scheduled railroading. With majority of the freight cars on the train, you can tell the train is headed for Elkhart, Indiana. Some cars will get classified in Elkhart for point to rest. Eastbound into Motor Train 268 approaches very slowly. A former in the shots indicates what not to do on the railroad. People like him is the reason why this whole welfare community is junk. He is also standing on property that he's not allowed to be on, and is walking across the tracks back and forth as the train is approaching. Darwin Ward. Something that's nice to see welfaring is foreign power. We got one today, and it was the first for me. NS train 6E4 highballs passed through Macungie. Trailing is a ex-KCS ES44AC, also known as the Jivo. You know darn well I was happy. Not every day you see Kansas City Southern wolf through Pennsylvania. And it was my first time seeing one. Kansas City Southern without a doubt has the best Class 1 railroad paint scheme. It is called the Bell Scheme, which would come to an end due to the CPKC merger back in 2023. We are still in the early stage of the merger, but in the future, the KCS Bell Scheme will be history. So it was nice to see this fallen flag today, even if it wasn't leading. Train 6E4 operates between Chicago, Illinois and Linden, New Jersey. These tanker trains coming from the west usually have good foreign power. You never know what's gonna end up on it. NSMT Autorack Train 11N passes by, coming from DeRemus Avenue in Jersey City to Sterling Heights, Michigan. Doesn't this P5 horn sound lovely? With that incredible P5 horn, if these auto racks rolling over the track joints, this train is music to my ears. Heading eastbound is NS Manifest Train 10K. 10K is a daily manifest train from Conway, Pennsylvania to Croxton, New Jersey. Today's power was pretty boring, but had a friendly engineer along with good rolling stock. A nice fleet of fallen flag rolling stock can be seen, along with Southern Pacific gondolas. Some Norfolk Southern coal Top Guns made its way onto today's train, along with a line of new Norfolk Southern gondolas. You never know what you will find on a manifest train. A local symboled as H65 heads westbound. It will come back eastbound later with a few freight cars bound for Allentown. This train usually works between Allentown and Phillipsburg, but can be seen west of Allentown. We actually seen the train work Phillipsburg back in September of 2024. It is heading westbound light with 2 EMD rebuilds. Leading is a former Southern High Hood GP38-2. It got rebuilt with the new Admiral cab. The second engine is an SD60E with the Crescent cab. Pretty unique scene with those two locomotives together. After that, a high rail heads westbound. Speaking of high hoods, NS train H73 catches us by surprise with the second unit. The second unit, NS5191, is a former Southern High Hood GP38-2, and it was built in 1976. One of the oldest locomotives I ever seen, and this is my first time seeing a High Hood. After H73 heads westbound from Allentown, Pennsylvania to Enola, Pennsylvania, H65 heads back eastbound to Allentown, with the unique EMD pair once again. You can tell by the lit signals, H65 is still in the block. Not too far behind it, on track 2, is the NS train 28X. 28X operates between Chicago, Illinois and Coxon, New Jersey. It is a hotshot intermodal train, and it blasts by Macungie with a -9 leading. It is rare to see a -9 lead in 2025, as most of these are getting rebuilt to the AC44C6Ms by Wabtec. That K5LA horn does sound great. A flower park is just next to the train watching platform. It is very beautiful and brings out some color to the park. As the sun begins to set, a family crosses the tracks and heads over to the flower park, just in time to see NS train 26X. I'm not too sure if they actually came for the train. Regardless, it is 26X. 26X is a hotshot intermodal train from Chicago, Illinois to Coxon, New Jersey. The whole train originated out of Los Angeles from the BNSF. BNSF took the train to Chicago, Illinois. It runs on a 76-hour schedule. On BNSF, the train is symboled as Z, LAC, and YC. You might think that the train coming from the BNSF will have a lot of engines and will be very long, but nope. Only 2 GeVos were needed for this very small train. The train even worked the intermodal terminal in Weatherford, Pennsylvania, and it was still very short. We stick around for one more train, NS-23G, from Cox in New Jersey to Chicago, Illinois. '23G highballing past the train watching platform ends the day with a beautiful sunset. And it was an incredible day on the Norfolk Southern in the Keystone State. Like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and happy railfanning.
Oh my goodness!